Now, this medicine, we're working with the element of fire, so initially when it is applied, you may feel a heat. What I'm doing now is I'm just putting the gates on the body to receive the medicine, and we make a superficial burn. It's a very different nausea to being sick with something else.
Cambo is a gateway for releasing and purging and clearing your body.
It is incredibly intense. Sometimes you might even think, get it off me, I don't want to be doing this anymore.
Things shift, things change. For me, it's very soul satisfying.
It will work on whatever you need at that time in many mysterious and magical ways.
Does this look ridiculous or?
You can put him down. That's fine. Yeah.
I just look like this weird person that just sits with a frog on their hand. I guess if anyone's going to do it, then. Cambo comes from the skin of the giant monkey frog, Phylomedusa bicolor, which lives in the Amazon basin. In terms of appearance, the giant monkey frog looks quite a lot like this.
Stand up.
The toxins are traditionally harvested by catching the frog, tying its limbs out, so sort of splaying the frog, and using a stick or a piece of bamboo to scrape the toxins off its back over the course of several days before then releasing the frog.
Predator will try and eat the frog, find that it tastes horrible or makes it throw up, spit it out and learns from the experience and doesn't do it again. Humans, we do it, we throw up, we go, ooh, that's an interesting experience, let's do it again. It's like bungee jumping with toxic frogs. My name's Ian Musgrave. I've been working in pharmacology for 30 years and I've been working directly in toxicology for 10 of those years. Not in a million years would I do Cambo. Cambo has risks associated with it because it's a very strong physiological challenge. Your blood pressure falls, your heart rate goes up, you're vomiting, you've got diarrhea. Generally it stops very rapidly, but if it continues then you could lose important minerals and cause possibly heart attack, possibly stroke. What we've done, we've taken an indigenous hunting ritual out of its context, brought it over into a Western context. In a sense, we're trying to medicalise it.
When people talk about Cambo, it's about, you know, you whack frog stuff on and you vomit. It's so much more than that, and there is so much more about ritual, about community, about the ceremony of it, and that sense of not feeling alone.
Yeah. So one of the things that we use in ceremony is we use sound, we use instruments and we use singing. I think there can be a misconception about the type of people that come to Cambo. I think there can be this idea that it's people who are on the fringes of society or alternative, but that is not our experience at all.
There's a real broad range of people that will come. So, you know, that can be the businessman who's been struggling with, you know, grief and near the point of taking his own life.
A mother and daughter coming together, yeah, you just can't put it in a box.
My name is Brad. I am a Cambo practitioner. I work with my partner Carly, who's also a Cambo practitioner, and we run a business, or what we prefer to call kind of a passion project, called Two Wolves, One Body. That's the stick of Cambo. That's how it comes, wrapped in vine, wrapped in leaf. We've been offering Cambo for probably a little over 2 years. In that time, we have seen 570 clients. We really wanted to share the things we had learnt and that we benefited from, and make things like Cambo more accessible.
I had sort of 7 years basically bedbound, in a lot of pain, doing a lot of different treatments and trying a lot of different things to get through chronic Lyme disease. I heard about Cambo, and at the time I actually flew to Europe to access Cambo. Of all the things that I'd tried, it created a distinct shift for me. Without Cambo, I wouldn't have the life that I have. You know, I'm fit, I'm healthy.
You see?
Lucy, what's this?
Yeah.
we're having a wee.
I saw the benefit it offered to Carly. And so then when we discovered that there was an organisation out there that was training people to practice, it wasn't really even a question. It was like, this is something we could share with people.
That's actually the secretion, and we just wet that down. So all I'm doing now is I'm applying the medicine that was mixed before to the gates that we've opened up.
I mean, I didn't want anything to do with it, to tell you the truth. It sounded like an ordeal, and it looked even worse. And I had to watch everybody systematically go through their purge or whatever before it got to me at the end, and I was bloody terrified. But I did it. I tell you, man, I was a new man afterwards. Yeah, it helped. It was the first time that my sister gave me Cambo. I learned a long time ago to do what my sister suggested. That was going to be good for me. That was part of our pact. That was part of our bond. First day in preschool, I think it was. I look happy, but I'm pretty sure that moments before that I was crying for about 4 hours. I was a twin, and I had a twin sister. For the first 2 or 3 years of your life, you're not even aware that you're separate. She's a mirror image of you. And then you eat every meal together, and you fight over every Mars bar together, and you watch every TV show together. And I think this is my favourite shot of Tash and I. It kind of says it all. I'm not sure if she's hugging me or strangling me, and that's Tash. I encouraged everything that she did because I knew she wasn't an impulsive, reckless person. She was in extreme pain for a long time. I would hear screams and things in the night that, doctors would prescribe the medication, they cut the vertebrae out and they continued to prescribe the medication. There was nothing else, that was it. She was faced with that for the rest of her life. So I think she just needed to take it into her own hands, and when she found something like Cambo, it was an alternative, a welcome alternative.
Everybody has had an amazing ceremony today, and they've done some fantastic work. So they're all just in recovery at the moment.
Fresh. I feel relieved, and I feel just really light in my body, and I feel like I've released something important, and like my life's going to be different from now.
Purging has been very popular since the 19th century, and it basically does nothing. It may give you a feeling of cleansing if you've just thrown up or had lots of diarrhea, but it doesn't do anything physiologically beneficial. Cambo can kill. In terms of deaths in Australia, to our knowledge, there's been one death that is associated with Cambo.
I remember the day was March 8th, Friday. It was a beautiful morning, and I got the phone call. There was complications. She was having cardiac arrest, and her housemate had said she's gone. She was practicing Cambo at the time. When somebody passes, they typically go through a first autopsy, and generally there is a result. If it's a more complicated circumstance, they'll go through a second. And my sister went through 3 without a finding. It was inconclusive. Cambo has been linked to a death in New South Wales. The cause of the death isn't known yet, but it raised concerns for me. I'm Grant Davies, I'm the Health and Community Services Complaints Commissioner in South Australia, and I'm currently investigating 2 Cambo practitioners in that state. It hasn't been investigated anywhere else in Australia, but for everything there's a first time. The current ban in South Australia means that 2 wolves, 1 body can't provide Cambo services, and they can't advertise or promote Cambo services.
It's not about losing the business or the money. Like we're both smart people, we can find other jobs, we can find other things to do. But what Cambo has given us and what we are able to share with other people,
It's tough when you know, and you have people on the other end and they rely on you and they trust you, and it takes a lot to trust.
supporting someone when they're emotionally...
Yeah, take a breath, Deep belly breath.
We had nothing to do with the death in New South Wales at all. We think that the reason we became the first port of call, I guess, for this investigation is because we were easily found. We have everything up online, we're accountable, we're visible.
There was no complaint in South Australia. My Act enables me to act on intelligence, and that's what I did.
People talk about its benefits in terms of that spiritual cleansing. They've talked about it potentially being helpful in dealing with mental issues, but there's no good evidence it actually does that.
If Cambo wants to be taken seriously, then clinical trials, for example, would be a good first step.
If Cambo practice and or Cambo was to be banned or to be made illegal, it will push the practice underground. And then you've got self-application, perhaps then on your own becomes super dangerous. At the moment, if there were to be an adverse incident, we have no qualms in calling an ambulance. We have no qualms in interacting with GPs, and all of that goes away. All of that net to protect those people that need this and want this substance. Sorry.
Do I miss her every day? I cry every second day. I have trouble sleeping. I think about particularly the good things. My wedding, she wasn't there, and the birth of my child, that she won't be there physically, but she's there. She's here. She's still with me.
You know, all of those people that have had great benefit and found something in this that has improved their quality of life, that becomes so much more risky for them to access.
I will do this for the rest of my life. Yeah. And if I can't do it here, I'll go to the Amazon rainforest.
It was an acknowledgement. I think it's easy to speak words. It's harder to do actions, and it was an action toward my sister and her beliefs. I don't blame Cambo for my sister's death. She laughed, she cried, she loved, she walked, she ran, she swam, and she did Cambo. There was no finding that it was directly related. So there is nobody that should use Cambo and my sister's name with any right ever again.